What's up guys, Aaron here. So a lot has happened with the FTX bankruptcy since my last video. In this video, I'm just going to get everybody up to speed over the last couple weeks, including objections and many objections that have come in into the docket regarding the plan. Also some updates on voting when that time arises, what the ballot is going to look like. So let me just dive in really quick right here. I just took some screenshots from the voting ballot, and this is like 600 and something pages, but a couple things to note that really caught my attention. So the first thing, the proposed confirmation hearing, it's going to be October 7th. Most likely that'll be pushed back because everything is pushed back in these bankruptcies. Probably this will be November, maybe even December, and then people will possibly get their first payout next year. That's my guess. Now, this is something that I think is going to be a real issue. So just like with Celsius, people can accept the convenience claim election, which means that if your claim is above $50,000, you can click this box and be dropped into the convenience class. Now, what that would allow people to do is to get right now 118 or so % of their claim within a very short period of time after the plan is confirmed. And trust me, there will be probably thousands of people that accidentally click this box even though they have a claim that's over $100,000. And the difference between this and Celsius is that with Celsius, they realized that, oh, this was a mistake. Nobody who had a $100,000 claim wants to have a $5,000 claim, right? But the difference with FTX's convenience class is that somebody that has a $70,000 claim maybe wants to drop into the convenience class because they want to get their money, their full payment really, really soon. So we won't know necessarily that, oh, this person had a $100,000 claim. Clearly it was a mistake. So we're going to void that dropping into the convenience class. We don't know because there are clear benefits to dropping into the convenience class for FTX. So that crossed my mind. Just wanted to start there. Here it says, check this box. You can elect to opt out of third-party releases, but then you are basically opening yourself up to being sued, especially if you withdrew money in the 90 days before bankruptcy. Here, Vlad over at Claims Market said, interesting dynamic to have 1.7 million ballots going to FTX convenience class creditors. And those are going to be creditors that have a claim of $50,000 or less. And before I head into other objections from the US trustee and other lawyers, I first want to talk about Claims Market. So Claims Market is a marketplace where buyers bid on FTX claims. So if you have a claim, you can reach out to Claims Market if you are looking to get the best available price. Right now, the average bid went up 2% from May 31st to about a week ago, June 7th. Now, what you'll get for your claim is very dependent on the size of your claim. Larger claims will get more money. And also, if you have massive preference exposure or there are other circumstances regarding your claim. Selling your claim with Claims Market is incredibly easy to do. You can see the agreements that you would have to sign, and then you can even see an explainer video as well going through the process. So if you are holding on to your claim and you are curious about listing it on Claims Market, I will include their information below for you to reach out to them. Here we have a settlement. FTX settles with Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton Foundation for $500,000. You can see that is right here. Last year, FTX filed a $700 million suit against ex-Clinton aides investment firm K5 Global. So FTX filed a $700 million suit. They are settling for $500. And that actually leads me to other objections I'll talk about from Arush. He was a contributor on a Forbes article right here where he shared his issues with the plan and everything that FTX and Sullivan and Cromwell have done so far. Here are some objections from Sunil and others. First, the plan is filled with a multitude of releases which are not adequately described and are not permissible. And apparently it's difficult to discern who are the people who will receive these releases. They also talk about how the plan does not satisfy the best interests of the creditors. They mention there won't be a definite way to get an in-kind distribution, and what that's going to do is create a forced exchange, which will create a taxable event to everybody. Lots of other things they talk about as well, including not informing creditors of projected recoveries from adversary proceedings, and also not really proving convincingly that this plan is going to be better than a Chapter 7 liquidation. And before I head into more objections, a couple different lawyers were brought into the FTX case representing Celsius in the Litigation Oversight Committee. So the $50 million that we gave the LOC, if you're in Celsius, that partly is being used for lawyers to hopefully get money from the FTX bankruptcy estate. And here, FTX has a partial settlement agreement with Gary Wang and Nishad Singh. Essentially, these two individuals are going to give their properties in the Bahamas to the FTX estate. So let's talk about more objections to this plan. A lot of people are saying that this plan is illegal and therefore unconfirmable. And it's also proposed in bad faith and does not have all the adequate disclosures that are necessary to basically give creditors enough information to intelligently vote. And many of the other things like questionable releases, not giving people enough information, and also the forced taxable event that hopefully there won't have to be a taxable event, but it seems like everybody now will most likely be getting cash. Hopefully people will be able to get stablecoins, but really unless you held stablecoins on the app, my belief, at least in the US, is that that's still going to be a taxable event. If you held Bitcoin and you're getting back only stablecoins, that still means that essentially they sold your Bitcoin and you're going to be getting back another asset that would be taxable anyway. So I want to touch on what Arush said right here, who is a big voice for the creditors in this case. So he was a huge contributor to this Forbes article. And what I want to do is go over his tweet because it does cover most of that Forbes article, which I will list below in the description if you want to read it. So some issues that FTX has done. They lost $1 billion in SUI tokens. They lost another $1 to $2 billion in SOL when they sold the Solana to Galaxy for a massive discount. Ledger X was improperly handled by conflicted Sullivan and Cromwell, suppressed bids from Binance and OKX, and sold back to Sullivan and Cromwell insider clients. Yikes. They abandoned the FTX 2.0 sale despite live bids. So there were people that supposedly wanted FTX 2.0, and they abandoned that entire process. There has been silence on the validity of the $2.1 billion Binance clawback that would bring a lot of money, again, possibly over $2 billion, back to FTX creditors, or at least to the estate. Remember that $400 million hack that happened, I think, right after FTX went bankrupt? Well, those funds have not been distributed to victims. And then finally, the IRS takes $200 million of victim recoveries and an additional $645 million more to ensure that crypto holders cannot be made whole. Now, in the Forbes article, they did contact FTX, and FTX did respond to these allegations, I guess you can say. FTX did respond to the whole Ledger X sale, which supposedly they could have gotten more money. FTX also responded to selling SOL tokens at a 60% discount, saying here that the FTX estate is not a hedge fund, so they're not really looking to gamble or any of that kind of stuff. Regarding FTX 2.0, FTX did respond. They said that it became clear that no serious investor was willing to spend the time and money necessary to build these systems and rehabilitate the offshore exchange. Essentially, there was no real bidder here that would have actually done the work to do so. Nobody wanted FTX. The brand was synonymous with fraud, etc., etc. Here they say that FTX is exploring the option to pay in stablecoins, and that would be very, very good. Because not only would cash be a taxable event for everybody, but there are lots of people around the world with no dependable mail. Like they can't get a wire and they cannot get a check. People in Celsius are actually in that situation right now that I'm hearing too, which is really, really unfortunate. And another big issue are for the creditors that have over $50,000, so not in the convenience class. They really don't know exactly when they will be getting the extra money. So that's basically it for it now, guys. The disclosure statement is still obviously getting objections, so the voting has not begun. That will be a very, very clear moment where you will get an email or multiple emails. I will talk about it. You may get something actually in the physical mail, and then you'll be able to vote on the plan, voting for or against the plan. And there will be options like, do you want to release the third parties? Do you want to drop into the convenience class? Lots of little options like that as well, which I will cover. And again, if you still have your claim and you are maybe just wanting to exit this process immediately, you can reach out to the guys at Claims Market and they will let you know what is possible. Hope you guys are doing well. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.